You know what time it is, baby. It is time for the F1 2011 season. What is up, guys, and welcome back to Rags to Riches 3, the series where we go from one of the worst teams in F1 2009, work our way through all of the Codemasters games, and then we try and get a drive for one of the best teams in F1 2017. As you can see on screen right now, we're in the 2011 season. We are kickstarting our 2011 season. So let's find out who we are driving for in F1 2011. Here we go then, it is time for the 2011 season. But first of all, if you guys are new around here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Then secondly, go catch up with the rest of the series. There'll be a card annotation in the top right hand corner of your screens, and you will also find a link in the description below. But now, we must talk through what we need to do to get a drive for a top team in F1 2012. If you are unfamiliar with the series and you haven't gone back to check out the previous episodes, then basically the team that we drive for in F1 2012 is all determined by where we finish in the 2011 season. So, if we win the championship or come second or third, then we will drive for Force India. If we come 4th to 6th, that'll be a drive for Williams in 2012. 7th to 10th will be a drive for Toro Rosso. 11th to 14th would mean we stay with Lotus, which will then turn into Caterham for the 2012 season. 15th to 18th will be a drive for Marussia, and 19th to 24th will be a drive for HRT next season. So hopefully we can get at least 10th and above to drive for either Toro Rosso, Williams, or the Force India team. But for now, we are driving for Lotus. It wasn't the best of seasons last season, so we do need to pick it up, even though we did get 2 race wins, but I'm not really too sure on how this season will go. So let's try and make a good start as we head over to the first race, the Australian Grand Prix. Here we go then, one-shot qualifying time for the Australian Grand Prix. Our first one-shot qualifying session of the season in this Lotus, and I haven't really got that high expectations for the qualifying session, but we will see how it goes in this car, which is just, you know, absolutely terrible. It's got no aerodynamics, it's got no pace at all in a straight line using a Cosworth engine, so I'm not really got high hopes for the qualifying session, but you never know, we might surprise a few. Especially as it is raining out on track, you know, that is definitely going to throw up a few surprises in the qualifying session. However, we are 1.8 seconds down on Fernando Alonso's time after the first sector. That kind of just goes to show you that it's not really going to be our day. Okay, then, final couple of corners now in this Australian Grand Prix qualifying session. Not really too sure what the lap time is going to be good enough for. We're about 3 seconds down already on Alonso's time. So, like I say, haven't really got the highest of hopes for this session, but we're going to come down towards the line now. Where are we going to be good enough for in the qualifying session? It's a 1:35, and it's 19th place. So, the best of the back markers, which actually isn't too bad. We're a whole second quicker than the likes of Timo Glock, but unfortunately, 3 seconds slower than Pastor Maldonado. We're going to have to do a lot this season if we want to get a points finish. There we go, P19 then to end the first qualifying session of the 2011 season. We did really well compared to the teams that are around us. We beat all of the backmarkers like Timo Glock, Liuzzi, Trulli, Kartikayan, and D'Ambrosio. Did we beat all of them? Yeah, we did. We did beat all of them. Okay, that's all right. I thought, hang on a minute, where's the other HRT? But Liuzzi is in a HRT this season. We were 1 second pretty much quicker than Timo Glock, but a whole 3 seconds slower than Pastor Maldonado. Well, 2.5, but it's still quite a bit of time that we need to catch up over the course of the season. Hopefully with R&D development, we can sort of catch up to those guys, but I haven't really got my hopes up for this season. We need to get points finishes, and we just need to pick up the last few results that we can. If we can get into the top 10 in the championship, then that'll be exactly what we need. But it's going to be very, very difficult this season. This is probably going to be my toughest season so far in this career mode. But let's go through the starting order for today's race. Alonso is in pole position, beating Jenson Button by 44 thousandths of a second. Mark Webber is in third, with Lewis Hamilton fourth and Sebastian Vettel fifth. Felipe Massa lines up in sixth. Nico Rosberg is in seventh, with Vitaly Petrov eighth. Nick Heidfeld in ninth, and Michael Schumacher rounds out the top 10. But the question is, what can we do from 19th on the grid as we head over to the race for the Australian Grand Prix? It's race day here at the Australian Grand Prix. We've got Fernando Alonso, who lines up in pole position as Jenson Button alongside him in second. There's myself, P19, in this pretty gorgeous Lotus car. I absolutely love the livery on this car, which is the only reason why I don't mind driving it in the 2011 season. Anyway, the lights are coming on now. The 2011 season is about to get underway. It's 5 red lights, and it is lights out, and away we go for the 2011 season. Straight away putting up into Rich Mix, and what a start we've had compared to a few of these drivers. Going to take it nice and cautiously, though, down in towards turn 1. In the middle, oh my god, there's a Williams. Oh my god, there's cars going sideways. Nearly took me out there, but we just about managed to avoid those. We're now going down in towards turn 3. I've got another driver on my right-hand side. Going to have to brake early in towards this corner. Trying not to go into the back of Jaime Alguersuari. He was very, very slow through there. A little bit of contact between myself and my old teammate of Kamui Kobayashi. I tried to go around the outside of turn 4, but that didn't exactly work out in my favour. Through the turn 5 now. I've got a four-cylinder on the outside. We had to dart to the inside line, but I think we've got the job done now on the four-cylinder driver, which we have. There we go, moving up into P14. What a chaotic start that was here at the 2011 season. And hopefully we can have more of those across the rest of the season. But now seeing what we can do on Kamui Kobayashi, maybe have a little look up the inside, but couldn't quite get anything done through there. Still holding on to P14. Made up a couple of overtakes at the start of the race, but let's see if we can push on from here. We are so slow in a straight line. Look at that from Adrian Sittil on the right-hand side, down in towards turn 3. He's having a look at going for the overtake in towards this next corner. Can we hold him off, though? I think we just about can. Adrian Sittil, though, very much right on my tail. We're really struggling to catch up to the likes of Kamui Kobayashi and the drives ahead of me. So the only real chance that I'm going to get of getting some serious points here today is maybe through the pit stop phase. We're just going to have to wait and see, hold off these drivers, and yeah, just see what happens. I was going to have a little think about whether I should come into the pits on this lap or not, but there's actually quite a few drivers into the pit lane at the moment, so we are going to pass all of these guys. We're going to come into pits on the next lap, so I'm going to hold off just for a little bit longer. But at the moment, running in P8, we're into the points right now in today's Australian Grand Prix. However, yes, okay, we do still have to make a pit stop, so the likelihood of us going all the way back down into the lower ends of the field is very high, but you never know. Someone could get held up. We could come out in a points position. Let's just wait and see. Right, here we go then. Pit stop time for the Australian Grand Prix. As we come into the pit lane, don't hit the wall. Oh my god, that was close. Okay, that was close to coming into the wall there. But anyway, into the pits we come. And we're going to need a good pit stop here today from the Lotus crew. I've just remembered as well, one thing that is actually really letting us down in this season is the fact that we don't actually have KERS on our car, whereas all of the top teams, I think it's really every team other than the back markers have KERS. I'm not too sure whether that's something that we could unlock as we do R&D development tests as the season goes on, but we're just going to have to wait and see for that. We've come out ahead of the other guys that were right behind us in the pit stops, and I think we've come out just behind Kamui Kobayashi as well. So that pit stop was actually pretty decent from the crews. I've run it a little bit too deep there coming out the pit lane. Yes, we have come out just behind Kamui Kobayashi, so it looks like we're going to be where we were before the pit stop phase. Okay, then more drivers currently into the pits here on lap 6 of this Australian Grand Prix. That's going to move me up into P15 for today's race, but Pastor Maldonado having a little look up the inside, down in towards turn 1. We're just about managing to hold off these drivers behind us. They get close enough, but they're not quite close enough to go for a diving move up the inside. So far, so good. We are holding on to P15. Can we make up any more positions? I don't think we can, but let's just see what happens. Oh, looks like Sittil has done a brilliant job with the pit stops. I think he did the overcut on us. Well, he definitely did the overcut on us. I think he went for a set of prime tyres and then a set of options in his second stint. So unfortunately, Adrian Sittil has come out ahead of us after the pit stop phase. He is out in P14, which means we are lacking down in 15th position at the moment, even though it doesn't really mean anything different. We both get 0 points at the end of the day. It's just a real case of pride. But unfortunately, Adrian Sittil is out on P14. Okay, this is going to be a really good opportunity for Pastor Maldonado to go for the overtake down in towards the next corner. Can we brake later than the Williams driver? We're going to try. He's on my right-hand side. Oh my god, we were so close to having a side pod glitch there through that corner. We're still side by side, the two of us. We might have a little dive up the inside in towards this next corner. Here we go on the left-hand side still with Pastor Maldonado on my right. It's still side by side between the two of us. We actually get DRS from Pastor Maldonado from being behind. So that's really going to help us down this straight, especially as the Williams is a lot faster than this car in a straight line. Even though I believe we've got the same engine in the back of our cars, I'm guessing they can really just push on. We've actually got a Renault engine in the back of this car, not a Cosworth that I said earlier on. We're going to have to put it down into standard mix of fuel, though, as we're now on optimal. So we need to be aware of that and make sure we do make it to the end of the race. But we just about managed to hold off Pastor Maldonado through those corners. Here goes Pastor Maldonado once more in towards his next corner. Will he go for the move? He might do, as I've run it very, very wide through that corner. Easy overtake at the end of the day for Pastor Maldonado, but we might fight back around the outside through this next one and then dive it up the inside once more on the Williams driver. Here we go, up the left-hand side. Once again, very late on the brakes through that corner. And once again, we get DRS from Pastor Maldonado, having to open it off the corner, because if we do open it whilst we're taking a corner, then we're just going to lose the back end and put it into a wall. But still, just about holding off the Williams driver at the moment. So doing a good job of that. Who is behind us? It's another Force India that's now joined onto the back of his train as Pastor Maldonado goes to the right-hand side. Should be a fairly simple move for the Williams man, but once again, very, very late on the brakes. Around the outside through turn 3, inside line for turn 4, and again, just about holding on to position. Here we go then, final lap now of this Australian Grand Prix, still holding on to P15 by the skin of my teeth. Got Pastor Maldonado really hunting me down the moment. He's got DRS, he's having a look up the inside down towards turn 1, but again, he just can't go for the overtake. And in fact, Paul di Resta has overtaken Pastor Maldonado through that corner. So Maldonado backed off massively up the inside down towards turn 1, and that has allowed Paul di Resta to go for the overtake. Now we've got to try and defend from the Force India driver in these last couple of laps to make sure we hold on to P15. Fernando Alonso wins the first round of the 2011 season. There's a yellow flag out in this sector, though, in sector 3 for some reason. So I'm not too sure what that's about. Whether that's just because the race has been won, the race is over, I'm not actually really too sure. I'm hoping there's a driver facing the wrong way or something like that. But the yellow flag doesn't seem to affect the Force India driver of Paul di Resta, who's having a little look up the inside. And he's actually got the job done. It's Pastor Maldonado, in fact, who's got the job done through there. So Maldonado overtaking me on the final lap of this Australian Grand Prix. I mean, they were pushing me like hell, so I'm not really surprised that Maldonado has finally got through. He dived it up the inside, a little bit aggressive, but that, of course, is Maldonado's trait. Very aggressive driver. But at the end of the day, we're going to come home for P16. It's a good result, seeing as the car that we are in. Unfortunately, it's not good enough if we want to try and get a good drive for next season, because P16, that's a drive for, I think that is Virgin or Mauritius for next season. So we need to make sure we do better than that in the next couple of races. But P16, at the end of the day, good first race for us, but it just shows how much we need to improve over the course of the season if we want to start getting points results. Because, I mean, look at the gap to the leaders. 44 seconds was the gap to Fernando Alonso. It's not good enough at the end of the day, but Alonso, he is the race winner for the first round in the 2011 season. Mark Webber finishes in second with Felipe Massa in third and Jenson Button in fourth. There's Nico Rosberg, who finishes in fifth today with Sebastian Vettel sixth. Not a good day there for the Red Bull driver. Nor for Lewis Hamilton, who finishes in seventh. The Lotus Renault of Vitaly Petrov finishes in eighth with Sebastian Buemi in ninth and Michael Schumacher. He gets the final championship point here today. Any surprises amongst the field? Not really. It's not really like the 2010 season. Although Sergio Perez down in 19th place, not a good day for him, nor for Rubens Barrichello, who finished way down in P23. But it's P16 at the end of the day, and that means we are now 16th in the Drivers' Championship, which, like I say, is, I believe, a Mauritius seat for next season. So that's not really good enough. We need to step it up if we want to get a drive for at least Toro Rosso in the 2012 season. Constructors' Championship then, they are ahead of the back marker teams. They're ahead of HRT, Virgin, but unfortunately they are not ahead of Williams or Force India or Sauber. The three teams there not scoring any points today as well, so there might be a chance if we can get some points finishes or get like top 11 or something like that to actually catch up to Sauber, Force India or Williams over the course of the season. But that is it for the Australian Grand Prix. Let's head back to the menus. Here we go then, first interview of the 2011 season. Do you have any objectives for the season? Yes, obviously. We want to try and get at least in the top 10 in the Drivers' Championship, because of course if we do that, then we will drive for either Toro Rosso, Williams or Force India in 2012. Unfortunately, it's going to be a really tough season for myself driving in this team, but we will see what happens by the end of the season. So at the moment, we're just sort of taking it race by race, but of course we will be looking to sort of get the top 10 by the end of the season. Are the team happy with how the weekend has gone? They're very happy. We beat the objective of 20th in qualifying and the objective of 18th in the race. Personally, I'm not particularly happy. I want to do a bit better, and hopefully with a few R&D tests we can really improve this car and start to get towards at least the midfield area, because we definitely need to close up that gap. So it was difficult, but we did do it at the end of the day, because we did have those drivers pressuring me right at the end. So the first race of the 2011 season is over. It was not a very good one at the Australian Grand Prix, even though we are in one of the worst teams on the game. So you know, at the end of the day, we can't really fault it too much. But, of course, I do have high expectations and I want to be doing a lot better at the end of the day. But let's have a look at the standings one more time before we end today's episode. P16 at the moment. That is a Mauritius seat, I believe, for F1 2012. So we need to improve on that if we want to get a drive for at least Toro Rosso, Williams, or Force India. But that's going to end today's episode. If you guys have enjoyed it, don't forget to smash a like on the video. Subscribe if you are new around here for daily Formula 1 content. We've got Racks to Riches free, F1 2017 career mode, and a whole load of other Formula 1 content coming to the channel very, very soon. And as always, don't forget to leave your comments in the section below. What do you think that we are going to do in this season? It's going to be a tough one, but do you think that we can score points and possibly even break into the top 10 in the championship? I want to know what your guys' thoughts are. But that is it for today's Australian Grand Prix. I will see you next time for round 2 in Malaysia. But until then, it's goodbye from me.